There are moments in history that begin not with a declaration or a bomb, but with a tap on a screen. Not by generals, but by kids. Not in war rooms, but in bedrooms. This is the story of Aditya Khatri, a 16-year-old from Kathmandu who didn't set out to change the world. He just wanted people to see what he saw. And in doing so, he nearly started a war between two nuclear powers. It was September 3rd, 2025, a humid morning in Kathmandu. Aditya woke up to silence, not the peaceful kind, but the kind that comes when your entire digital world goes dark. Overnight, Nepal's government had banned 26 social media platforms: Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, everything. The reason? A new digital law requiring foreign platforms to register with the state. But for Aditya and millions of Nepali teens, this wasn't bureaucracy. It was a wall being built around their voices. Because in Nepal, social media wasn't just entertainment, it was lifelines. It was cousins sending money home from Dubai through WhatsApp. It was students teaching math on YouTube. It was girls selling handmade jewelry to customers in California. Take that away, and you don't just cut off connection. You cut off hope. That morning, walking to school, Aditya saw something that made his stomach tighten. Outside the Ministry of Education, a convoy of black SUVs idled. And stepping out, Saugat Thapa, the 19-year-old son of a provincial minister wearing a Louis Vuitton jacket worth more than most Nepalis earned in 2 years. Aditya didn't plan a revolution. He just felt something sharp and familiar: injustice. So he did what any teen would do. He pulled out his phone. Even though Instagram was blocked, he'd downloaded a VPN the night before, like thousands of others. He snapped a photo. Saugat stepping from his luxury car, juxtaposed with an image he'd taken days earlier of barefoot children begging outside a temple. His caption was simple: "This is why they don't want us to have social media. They don't want us to see he posted it and went to class." He had no idea that in 2 hours it would be shared over 200,000 times. No idea that by lunch it would crash 3 VPN servers. And absolutely no idea that by nightfall, intelligence analysts in New Delhi and Beijing would be studying his photo like it held the launch codes to a missile. Because here's the terrifying truth of our age. In 2025, virality doesn't just spread ideas, it spreads suspicion. India's cyber monitoring systems flagged the surge in encrypted traffic from Nepal as a potential security breach. China's algorithms interpreted the same spike as foreign-backed destabilization. Neither asked why young Nepalis were angry. They only asked who was behind it. And in the shadow war between rising powers, who is always the enemy? Within 48 hours, Indian and Chinese military units began repositioning near Nepal's borders. Diplomatic cables flew, emergency briefings were called, satellites were redirected, all because a teenager posted a photo of inequality. Meanwhile, Aditya sat in chemistry class, phone tucked away, unaware that his name was now in classified briefings labeled Potential Hybrid Threat Actor. By day 3, the streets of Kathmandu were filled with tens of thousands of young people, not just protesting the social media ban, but everything it represented: corruption, exclusion, a future that felt stolen before it began. The government panicked. Prime Minister Ali, caught between domestic fury and foreign pressure, made a fatal mistake. He asked both India and China for help. Each interpreted the request as proof the other was winning. And that's when the real danger began. Not from Aditya's post, but from the systems built to monitor posts like his. Systems that see emotion as threat, that mistake anger for aggression, that can't tell the difference between a cry for justice and a call to arms. On September 6th, Aditya finally saw the storm his post had unleashed. News channels showed maps of troop movements. Experts debated whether Nepal was becoming a proxy battleground, and his face, blurred but recognizable, appeared on international broadcasts as the boy who lit the fuse, so he did the only thing he knew how to do. He turned on his camera. No script, no strategy. Just a kid in a wrinkled school shirt, eyes wide with disbelief. "I am not a spy," he said, voice trembling but clear. "I'm not working for anyone. I just wanted people to see the truth. If that's dangerous, then maybe the problem isn't me." That video, raw, human, unfiltered, did what diplomats couldn't. It reminded the world that behind every data point is a person. Behind every viral event is a heartbeat. Overnight, the narrative shifted. The crisis began to cool. But on the ground, the fire kept burning. Because while world powers stepped back from the brink, Nepal's own government doubled down. On September 8th, security forces opened fire on protesters in Kathmandu. 19 people died, most of them teenagers. Their last posts weren't calls for war. They were selfies with friends, song lyrics, messages to parents. "Don't worry, I'll be home soon." The images of their bodies, phones still clutched in their hands, went viral in a way that no algorithm could control. 2 days later, the Prime Minister resigned. The social media ban was lifted. But the cost was written in blood, not bytes. A journalist met Aditya 6 months later in a quiet cafe near Durbar Square. He was 17 now, but his eyes carry the weight of someone who's seen too much too soon. "People ask if I regret it," he told me, stirring his tea slowly. "But how can I regret telling the truth? What I regret is that it took this much pain for anyone to listen." He's studying computer science now, wants to build digital tools that protect truth, not weaponize it. But his real lesson is simpler. When you live in a world where silence is enforced, even a whisper can sound like a shout. Aditya's story isn't just about Nepal, it's about all of us. We live in an age where a teen's frustration can be misread as foreign interference, where a photo of poverty can trigger military alerts, where algorithms amplify outrage faster than empathy. Experts warn this won't be the last time a young person accidentally ignites an international crisis, because we've built systems that monitor for threats, but not for truth. That track engagement, but not understanding. And in that gap, between what's posted and what's perceived, wars are born. So the next time you scroll past a post from a teenager about injustice, inequality, or just the raw ache of being unseen, don't dismiss it as noise. Because in the right moment, with the wrong interpretation, that voice might not just go viral, it might echo across borders, through war rooms, into history, and all because someone finally dared to say, "Look, just look."